Have you ever stopped to think about where your data really lives? Chances are it's on some giant company's server, right alongside millions of other people's stuff. Well, today we're going to talk about unlocking your own private cloud. Think of it like your own personal, secure fortress for all your photos, files, and everything else that matters. So let's start with what I like to call the private cloud dream. It's a pretty simple idea when you get down to it. Just imagine a digital space that is 100% yours. You make the rules, you hold the keys. No third-party snooping, no sudden policy changes that you didn't ask for. It's just your data, under your control, period. And really, it all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? Do you want to be the one in charge of your own digital life? To know exactly where your most important files are, and crucially, who has access to them? For a lot of us who really care about privacy, the answer to that is a big, loud yes. Okay, but like with any big dream, there's always the reality check. And the reality of building your own cloud brings us right to what we call the DIY dilemma. And this right here, this is the wall that stops so many people cold. You get a server, you're all excited to get started, and then, bam, you're staring at a black screen with a blinking cursor, trying to figure out command lines, complex configurations, security protocols. It can turn into a total technical nightmare really fast. And just like that, the dream starts to feel pretty out of reach. So you're basically looking at two very different paths. You can go the DIY route, which, let's be honest, requires a lot of technical skill and a ton of your time. And the scary part, one little mistake in the setup could leave your data wide open. The other path, the professional approach, just flips that whole script. You get an expert to do the installation, it's secure from the word go, and you get to your destination without all that technical headache. And that brings us right here to the professional pathway. Think of it as the bridge that connects that dream of controlling your own data with the actual reality of having a working, secure cloud server that you can, actually use. So how does a professional actually build this for you? Well, it's definitely not just a one-click install. It's a really structured, methodical process. A lot of times it's built around powerful open-source software like Nextcloud. It all starts with the core installation and getting everything configured just right. From there, you move to the absolutely critical step, setting up all the security and encryption. And then, finally, it's all about configuring the users and setting up those super important backups. It's a deliberate journey from a blank server to your own finished secure cloud. All right, so what do you actually get when you go with a professional service? Let's deconstruct it. We're going to pop the hood and really look at the key components that are typically part of the deal. This shows you how all the different pieces of the puzzle come together. See, installing Nextcloud is the heart of it, but that's not enough by itself. It needs that secure setup to make it tough. It needs SSL to act like a shield when your data is traveling. It needs user synchronization to manage who gets in. And of course, it needs automatic backups as your ultimate safety net. It's not just a random list of features. It's a complete ecosystem designed to hand you a finished product that just works. Okay, let's zoom in on a couple of these, starting with SSL, or HTTPS. The easiest way to think about this is like an armored truck for your data. Anytime you connect to your cloud, this scrambles the connection. It makes it unreadable to anyone trying to snoop, maybe someone on the same coffee shop Wi-Fi. This isn't just a nice-to-have feature. In today's world, it is absolutely essential for security. Next up, user and group synchronization. This is all about controlling who gets the keys to your cloud kingdom. For a family, you might just set up a few accounts manually, which is super easy. But for a business, this can get way more powerful. The service can actually integrate with your existing company's systems, like LDAP, making user management a breeze. That flexibility is what makes a private cloud work so well for a single family or a whole company. And finally, we have the ultimate safety net, automatic backups. Come on, let's be real. Hardware fails and people make mistakes. This feature means that a copy of all your important stuff is saved regularly, automatically, without you even having to think about it. It's the peace of mind that protects you from that sinking oh no feeling of realizing you've lost everything. So, after all that technical work is done by a pro, the installation, the security lockdown, the backup plans, what are you left with? Simple. You're left with your cloud, totally ready to use, completely hassle-free. This quote from our source material just says it all, doesn't it? The whole point isn't just to have a private cloud. It's to have one that's ready to use, secure, and running smoothly from the second you log in for the first time, and all without you having to become a systems administrator overnight. So let's wrap this up. What are the big takeaways here? First, the dream of truly controlling your own data. It is absolutely achievable. Second, those scary technical hurdles. They don't have to be a dead end. By letting a professional service handle the really complex parts, the security, the configuration, the backups, you get the end result you wanted all along. The keys to your very own secure, private cloud all set up and ready to go. And that leaves us with one final thing to think about. When we're talking about your most important documents, your family photos, your private information, what is the real value of hassle-free? What's it worth to know that it's all set up correctly, that it's secure, and that you can just focus on what actually matters? It's something worth considering.